drives it into right center field, hit a ton. This baby is way back out of here.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel, and we got some moves to talk about. Been some trades, been a couple signings. We got some moves going on. The stove is heating up, and we're going to talk about a big move between the Padres and the Brewers, as the Padres send Luis Urias to the Brewers send Trent Grisham to the Padres, and plus a couple pitchers also involved in the move in a 4-player deal. So a big move, fairly big move. And Urias was a pretty big prospect for the Padres, hit .315 in AAA, 19 home runs and just 295 at-bats. But he did not hit too well in the big leagues, just .223. And then the Padres getting Trent Grisham, an outfielder, same story, hit .300 in the minors, 26 home runs and 370 at-bats. So nice power, but just .231 in the big leagues. Both guys obviously potentially high ceilings. Urias, big prospect for the Padres. Padres needed a second baseman. Now they are getting an outfielder, even though they already have a ton of outfielders. So the move doesn't make a whole lot of sense from that aspect. They got Hunter Renfroe. They got Manuel Margot, Cordero, Myers, Taylor Trammell coming up from the minors, waiting in the wings. So I don't really get the move. Seems like they need a second baseman more than an outfielder, but either they thought Grisham was simply just the better player or the higher ceiling at 26 home runs. He's got some pop there.
Romo has the sign. Grisham waiting. Swinging a drive to right and deep. Way back. Get up. Gone for Grisham. He just hit a 3-run shot out of here against Romo. And the Brewers are going to wind up with the lead.
So you want to get the better player, why not? Maybe they figured Urias, he just ain't going to make it. He just can't hit in the big leagues. He's had a couple of years now of time in the big leagues, and neither year did he do much in the big leagues. Why make the move? It also has to do with the pitchers involved. The Padres pick up Zach Davies, and he started 31 games last year, 10-5 record, 3.55 ERA, so it's a solid arm, and I think that improves the rotation and is a slight upgrade from Eric Lauer, who had a 4.45 ERA, 8-10 record. He gave up 158 hits in 149 innings, so overall, I think Davies is the slightly better arm, so the Padres trying to improve their rotation, picking up another outfielder who may or may not be able to hit at the big league level, while the Brewers are picking up Urias, who also may or may not be able to hit at the big league level. Both guys looked really good in AAA. So a couple of prospects swapping places, and then a couple of, mid-rotation pitchers swapping places. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it is a deal. But a couple other offseason signings involving ex-Giants. We got Stephen Vogt, backup catcher for the Giants last year. He's signing a 1-year, $3 million deal with the Diamondbacks. So the Giants will not be bringing back Vogt, which means they're going to have to look for another backup catcher more than likely, because they do not have a backup catcher. Buster Posey is going to be your main guy. Who's the backup? Obviously, we got Joey Bart coming up through the system, but he's not going to be ready yet, although he might show up late in 2020, some point in the season, or maybe early 2020. Who knows what's going to happen? But Joey Bart still in the minors. Giants are going to need to bring up a backup catcher, sign somebody. Shouldn't be no issue finding a backup catcher. Remember last year's spring training, Giants had like 20 backup catchers. They were just cycling through them in spring training, cutting one, signing another, cutting another, signing one, DFA, bring another one. They went through, I don't remember how many, Rene Rivera, Tom Murphy. Obviously, they ended up with Eric Kratz. Then they had Stephen Vogt. They sent him to the minors till he was ready, brought him up, sent Kratz packing. So something like that's going to happen again. They'll find a backup catcher. Is not going to be a big deal. But another hashtag forever Giants pitched last year for the Giants. He was in their rotation to start the season. And speaking of the Padres and Brewers, he got traded to the Brewers around the trade deadline, and now he is signing with the Padres, and it's also his former team, the Padres. Who am I talking about? Drew Pomerantz. Drew Pomerantz was a starter for the Red Sox, really a nice starter for them. Came over to the Giants, didn't pitch well in the rotation, but he did do fine when he got moved to the bullpen, and that was how the Giants were able to move him to the Brewers. Continued to pitch well in the bullpen. Now the Padres have him. Don't know their plans for him. They might want to put him in the rotation, but I would suggest to the Padres, put him in the bullpen, because he seems to be doing pretty well in the bullpen these days, and that's probably where he best belongs. You put him in the rotation, well, it might work out for them, but it did not work out for the Giants too well. So Drew Pomerantz, former Giant, has now signed with the Padres. So a couple of little minor deals there. But this is a baseball channel. We talk a lot of Giants, and I cover off the field stuff as well. So I will be remiss if I did not mention the story involving Sam Dyson. This is freaking awful. This is horrible news. This is just the last thing I want to see when I'm checking up news on the Giants, even though he's not with the Giants anymore. He got traded to the Twins around the All-Star break. But Sam Dyson is basically accused by his girlfriend, basically insinuating that he did some horrible things, some abusive thing towards her and the cat, and maybe threw a box with the cat inside it at her, just exploding the box and also possibly harming the cat. There are a few tweets by someone I follow, Carmen Q, who comes on KNBR, and she knows Sam Dyson's girlfriend, and it looks like she has some information there saying that the cat did get a little bit hurt, but he is okay now and recovering. This is some sick news coming out here. Hate to hear about it. Obviously, an investigation is going to take place. MLB is going to investigate Sam Dyson. He's more than likely going to get in pretty big trouble. You know, these kind of things come out a lot. I'm not one who says automatically believe the woman no matter what, because that's not always fair. Sometimes women do make stuff up, but in this particular case, it looks pretty damning. It looks pretty realistic. What she's saying is very believable. So I believe there's probably something to this, and it's freaking heartbreaking. I have a cat. I'm a cat owner, and love cats. I love animals, and this freaking sucks, man. This sucks to hear this. I was a Dyson fan. I wasn't happy when he was traded, and you know, this guy just might be a raging crazy guy out there, you know, harming his girlfriend, and then to throw a box with a cat inside it. What? I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore about that, but obviously an investigation has to go through. That's just sickening, man. That is just sickening, dude. Something is wrong with you if this is true. And like I said, read the tweets. I'll link up an article to this, and you can read this story for yourself. I'm not going to jump to conclusions and absolutely just trash anybody right off the bat, because there is an investigation that has to take place. But I will say this looks really bad, and if this is true, this is just sick, dude. That is some sick stuff, man. Something is wrong with Sam Dyson if this is true. So that's what I got to say about that. So that's pretty much it. A lot of moves going on. We got some Giants relievers moving to another team. We got some Giants relievers throwing boxes with cats inside it. It's a bad deal right now for that. Giants lose Stephen Vogt. I guess there's not a lot of good news in this video as far as Giants news goes, because it's not looking good for us. But big move between the Padres and the Brewers. What did you think of that move? Interesting stuff. Remember the Brewers, though, I forgot to mention, they do need a second baseman like that, like Urias, because they traded their guy Dubon, their big prospect, to the Giants, and I love Dubon, so I'm hoping Dubon does big things for the Giants. So that's what's going on in the news last couple days. Lots of transactions. Thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button, and don't be afraid to hit the thumbs up as well. And go ahead and check my links in the description below. I got a Twitter account, I got a Facebook, Humm Baby Baseball. We're growing here. Check out the links. Talk to you guys next time. See ya! When the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Every time the chips are down, it's bye-bye, baby. History's in the making at Oracle Park.